Hello, everyone. It's been a long time since I posted some sort of tutorial. So I thought now is a good time as any. With the recent increases in usage from Anthropic for Claude, I've been doing a lot of playing around with Claude Cowork and workflows. But what I wanted to share today was a process that I used to create a repeating scheduled task that you can set up in Claude Cowork that will use less tokens. One of the things that happened last week that was that I lost the ability to use one of my email programs that kind of helps me organize the different kinds of emails and really focus on what really matters, but still get some of that information I need. So I lost that email. So I decided I'll just go back to Apple Mail and I'll connect Claude Cowork to the Apple Mail using what's called an MCP. If you haven't heard of that, it's simply a link to the AI that gives it access to certain tools. So it's able to read through the email. It's able to search. If you allow it, it'll allow you to draft, but you can pick and choose which tools it has. I also have it connected to Toos app, which is where I keep a lot of my digital to-dos and projects. And it's also where all my calendar events lie. So what I wanted to do was create a digest. Actually, I actually split it into two. One was email cleanup, where it goes through all my sales and coupons and listservs and looks for specific information that I typically would look for, and then deletes all those emails so I don't have to deal with it. But anything that's important, I see in the digest. And then the second one is a daily ritual that goes with my bullet journal practice that brings up all the things that are in my inputs, the Toos app and email, that might be tasks that I want to put in my bullet journal somewhere, which is just a simple notebook. If you haven't heard of the bullet journal method, it's my one source of truth that I use to keep me focused every day instead of spreading it out and across a bunch of apps. So I'm trying to develop some tools here with Claude that support that practice. So what you can do to create a task in Claude, if you have it, is you simply click New Task, and you can click the Create with Claude, and basically it starts a chat, and you tell it what it wants, and then you go back and forth and figure it out, test it, see the result, go back, which is fine. It's a great process, especially if you're not really sure what you want on the front end. But actually the default, in this sense, this has kept my default, which is Sonnet 5.0, but the default is usually Opus or Fable, which uses a whole lot of tokens. I've been very conscious about that because I've been using lots of tokens to import and organize my knowledge base. So what I decided to do was go back to my regular chats or create a clean task. Now you can go to your regular chats if you have a project built up. That's one way to do it. I did it this time by simply adding the prompt here, just saying, what are the steps that that I want this task to take? What are some details? And then I have it actually look in my knowledge base for relevant sources. Here it's connected to my knowledge base. So it reads pretty much all my writings that I've ever had online. And that includes examples of structured tasks, my structured approaches to prompting, all those things. So now, as you can see, this is just a clean one that I started a while ago. You can see that it's pulled up the instructions in my Claude file, which is just like the overall instructions that I want Cowork to use when working with my knowledge base. It's pulled up my two tasks that I've already created. So now it knows, oh, okay, you've already created one. Do you want to just revise that or start a new one? It's also pulled up my skill, which is the structured note skill, which basically tells it how to use information types to structure the tasks, which works a lot better than just putting natural language into the task. And so I go ahead and I use Sonnet here to work through that task and get it really well designed. But then you just go over to Scheduled here, click New Task, set up manually, and then paste your structured task into this box. So then you have the advantages of having a well-organized task that you can more easily revise and update. And then you can name it and give it a subscription or a description. And then you can set the default model to Sonnet, which in most cases, I've found that works just fine. You don't really need the higher models. And so that saves you a lot of tokens. So if you want to see what this looks like real quick, where it's at now, I'm actually still working on these. So you can actually go back now to the original chat and revise it and then paste it on there. It actually works a lot better in my opinion. But here you can see it's pulled all my coupons. It looks through all my list servers for calls for proposals, jobs, and news, and also through all my social media updates for anything that I might want to comment on or read. And then it throws all those into the trash and I don't have to worry about it. There's something here I want to act on, I can. And here's my daily digest where it tells me what the pollen count. I have terrible allergies. It pulls in new recordings from a device that I use to take notes on. It brings in things from my Twos app, which there's nothing there right now, and also possible tasks from my email. And then what I can do is go through this and add anything that I want to act on into my bullet journal here. I can actually ask it to then complete the task. That doesn't show up here. And then I just move on with my day using just my bullet journal. So that's how I've set up tasks without burning a bunch of tokens that support my workflows and designing my own ways of using AI. I'm loving doing this and stay tuned for more.